Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here for another Blogs with Boilon Wednesday. Well, that's what today is, because we have a special one in store for you today, and that's going to be the road ahead blog, part 2 of 2022. Now, we are in, the middle of October, so really we're in, the fourth quarter at this point. But hey, I'm not going to question Scopely. So we're going to take a look at that, and we're going to get the kit revealing for Archangel. We're going to be talking about his model. I have a little bit of issue, I think, with his model, but we'll talk about that when we get to it, and we'll read the rest of the blog as well. So if you're ready to go, then let's boil this down. Okie doke. So we have Preview 2022 Part 2 with Archangel in the background. Not necessarily this photo here. There were some others, especially the ones that went up on Twitter and on Facebook or whatever, social media posts that we'll look at a zoomed in version. Actually, we'll look at that. I think it's this one. Oh no, it's the same one actually. But there's another one on Twitter, I believe, as well. But if you it feels like a 90s action figure. Maybe that's what they're going for. Maybe they were going for the, this is like the classic sort of purple costume for Archangel, and maybe that's what they were going for. But the mouth, it's something, I was talking about this in my Discord at length, and maybe it's the eyes or the mouth. It's just something looks really dopey. I think the mouth looks dopey, that's for sure. Like if you look at it just around there, and maybe it's the yellow eyes. I'm not sure. But as far as what I'm seeing, I can't wait to get the costume version, which I hope we'll talk about that as well, because I don't know, there's something wrong, to me. Anyways, let me know in the comments down below if you feel that way. Maybe now that I've pointed it out to you, maybe some people think of that as well. You know, I can't help but just stare at that mouth, and I'm just like, oh god. And I don't know, maybe that's just me being picky. Anyways, let's get back to the actual blog post. Yeah, how is it October already? It's more like the end of October. It's almost Halloween at this point. The Apocalypse Saga continues. It's all going to come to a head in 2023 when the final saga is revealed and the journey to Apocalypse nears its climax. Today we get to add a few more pieces to solve the puzzle. The Fourth Horseman. Okay, so this one's not as bad. I kind of want to just open this up in another window there. So, this looks better than the other one. Maybe it's because it's a little bit more pixely. This one doesn't look too bad, but I still feel that, I don't know, it might be the face. But the overall design on the rest of the stuff, not that bad. This one looks a little bit better, I think, now that it's maybe like high def or whatever, the resolution is a little bit better here. And it's not terrible. More details. Oh, about the new features about his kit, but for now, look at the wingspan. Okay, so there is no kit. My bad. Bait and switch there by Scopely. Maybe there's some other good news, because there's a decent amount of information, it looks like, in this blog post. And of course, he's a mutant. I hope he's a villain. Unless he's like Angel. No, I doubt it. I was going to say like Angel transforming into Archangel, but they probably would have shown that if that was the case. Otherwise, we'll assume that he is probably villain, global, mutant, maybe part tech. I don't know. Some people were talking about how that could be possible. And the Death Steed or whatever the team is, and Horseman, right? The Death Scourge event is expected to arrive with the release of 6.6, barring any interference from supervillains. Now, what does this mean? Does this mean like supervillains as in, is this code for like if things fuck up over at Scopely, that that's what they're expecting? 6.6. So given the timeline, we're going to be getting 6.5 next week, actually. That's when the estimated date is for that. And then 6.6 should be early December, that winter patch, December, January. So that's when we can kind of expect it. I kind of hope that Archangel's event doesn't come around until early January, because I really don't want this going on during Christmas time, when a lot of us are maybe playing a little bit less, when we're not really paying as much attention. So I hope that they don't throw a lot of intense events over, especially that 1 week over Christmas and New Year's. That's sort of the end of the month there. So I really hope that doesn't happen. So we'll see what ends up happening. With it will come new Scourges for a fresh challenge. Yeah, well, we knew that. Similar to other Scourge events, There will be new trait requirements for difficulty 5+, notes 5 and 10. Previously announced. Oh my god, we're also getting Wakandans. Okay, that's the... I mean, if you have them already built, great. Otherwise, I wouldn't really go out on a limb to do that because, as always, you know, it's actually become predictable that the second team, the really only reason to do this is if you're hyper competitive. And by that, I mean, like, probably higher than top 2,000. And you're probably looking at, like, top 1,000, the top 500 kind of score to have multiple teams built up really high. Because I can tell you that on the second famine run, I only used Young Avengers, and I managed to get in the top 200, actually, by doing difficulty 9. I know it was the second pass, so maybe less people cared about it, but even in the first pass, I scored top 2,500, and I also only had Young Avengers. So I'm probably not going to be doing much with the Wakandans other than what I already have built for them, and I kind of recommend the same for you all anyways. But some people may go a little bit more competitive on this one because he is the alleged, you know, raid team. So some people might value that more than some of the other characters. New characters! By now we're sure that most of you have seen how Marvel Strike Force bolsters one of the biggest events happening in and around the grander Marvel universe. We'll continue to support these big beats to ensure blah 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 blah. Nakia and Black Panther 1 million BC or whatever the hell that is. 1 multi-million? I thought it was just 1 million. 1 million million? Okay, so do they have the Wakandan tag on top of their other one? I guess hopefully they should. We'll be announcing their full ability text very soon, probably on Friday. This one kind of looks a little bit dopey. Nakia looks pretty cool, actually, with the rings. But this pose here, that was not very flattering, and actually I think it looks pretty dumb. But that's just me. And yeah, so I hope that I guess maybe that's the intention. So if they do have the Wakandan tag on top, then it will add newer characters to utilize with that, and therefore I guess there'll be some degree of power creep. And actually, Wakandans with Shuri anyways are fairly sustainable. So I still don't think you'll have to really build both of them unless you're being hyper competitive. But you know, we'll see, right? Cosmic Crucible. This feature was initially launched back in version 6.1 with the intention that additional revisions improvements would follow. 6.3, we had leagues. Happy to see increased participation and interest in the game mode across the board with these early successes and encouraging feedback. We're committed to making Cosmic Crucible the premier 1v1 player versus player mode in the game. Several improvements are currently being discussed for 2023, and we'd like to share some of them today. A history panel. We kind of already have that, so I don't know what that exactly means. They didn't really further that. Practice mode. This is something that would be very helpful, not only just for everyone, all players, content creators as well, to be able to just test different lineups, different teams, and such like that. Everyone could really use it. Stage rules in combat. I mean, I hope that they're planning on making adjustments to the stage rules and the global buffs and stuff that they're using every season. I would actually like it more than every 3.5 months or whatever the season lasts for. Every 2 months, I think, would be more appropriate, but increased payout of silver promotion credits per knockout per league. I actually don't feel that the economy for Cosmic Crucible is really that bad, but maybe that's just me. I'm actually currently saving because I don't really know what I want to do with my G17s at this stage, and that's going to be a topic of probably a video next week when we talk more about Apocalypse, this whole journey through the Apocalypse saga, and you know how worth it's going to be at the end of it. And that's why I haven't really done too much with my G17s. Actually, as soon as I upgraded Morgan Le Fay and Rogue to G17, I kind of not regret, but like I kind of felt that maybe I should have held on to it for a little bit longer, and that's kind of some of the stuff that we're going to discuss in that video next week. Let us know when you think about these ideas. Costumes. Okay, so we have Namor MCU. This is what I've seen in the trailer, and I don't know, recolored Iron Man. That's what it looks like. The Namor one's kind of cool, but I hope he gets a rework then, because he needs a significant base stat increase to really be on par with like anyone these days. And actually, it's a little bit disappointing that maybe they haven't done anything with him as far as, you know, using him somewhere else, I guess. Game mode improvements. Oh, I was going to say, I thought that was it. Like, there's nothing. Campaign hard difficulty. Get ready to take on the new hard difficulty for campaign missions for a new challenge and new opportunities. Okay, so we've been talking about campaigns and, like, new stuff for quite some time. In the next release, version 6.4, hard difficulty will be introduced for the first 2 chapters of the Heroes and Villains campaign. Hard difficulty will grant different rewards than normal difficulty, offering a great opportunity to stock up on teal origin gear. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So that means like Heroes Chapter 1, 2, Villains Chapter 1, 2, and what it sounds like is that unless they're going to make it traded, then it'll be, you know, just any characters. So it'll probably be really hard then, because that's a huge range of characters that you could use. Certain nodes will feature rewards in the form of character shards of older characters, including Phi Lavelle, but you'll probably be most excited to hear that the 2 highly requested newer characters love shards, Wong and Sersi. Wow, Wong and Sersi actually farmable. So that'll be coming next week then. So that's something to look forward to, actually. And that's, you know what, pretty good. As far as campaign farming goes, it's kind of slow. But the fact that it's, you know, it's something that I guess you can do every single day is really nice. And what that kind of locks, it's probably going to be pretty hard. So for newer players, this is not super friendly. It's just more for veteran players to kind of fill out their stars a little bit more, I guess. And I have a 6 red star Sersi that I still haven't activated to this day. Additional chapters will be implemented over time. Please note that the player level is 75 is the minimum requirement to unlock hard difficulty. Okay, so maybe it won't be super hard. Actually, level 75 is equivalent to about Do More Chapter 2 is level 75. So it might not be very hard for us veterans, actually, but it might present a decent challenge for sort of newer and maybe mid-game players. Economy updates. Reviewing the availability, here are some updates. Previously unavailable and hard to get. Okay, so they just said that. More teal gear in hard. They just said that as well. Teal origin gear. Open teal gear orbs in. Oh my god! Finally, there's a teal gear war orb that we've been requesting for ages. And I know that so many people probably blew their Elite War credits thinking that this was never going to happen. In fact, I actually just want to look into my game right now, and I want to see what I'm sitting at. I don't know if I've actually been using them or not lately. I did open them at some stage. Yeah, I have like nothing. I have 11,000. So what I was doing before was that I was opening these Orange Gear War Orb 1 because they actually give the best return in terms of orange SBCs and orange catalysts. So that's what I was doing here to farm SBCs because I had a serious crunch for Orange Gear because I couldn't upgrade a lot of my characters, both in health catalysts and SBCs and things like that. So I think I blew like 50,000 Elite War credits just on these orbs. So tough luck for me, I guess, but hey, maybe some of you might benefit from it. Raid store updated with 12 slots for orange unique gear piece. Wow. Like specifically for the uniques? Because that's a lot. That's like 4 rows. Quality, we'll see. Quality of life improvements. Remember combat speed settings across game modes. For example, if you set combat at 3 times in arena, that'll be setting will be active in Blitz. I mean, this resets every time you, like, reload your game, like when you start your game back up again, so we'll, I guess, is that what they're saying? It's gonna stay that way even after your game resets? Save squads for war practice mode. Okay. I haven't heard anyone ask about that, because that would separate save squads for war and war practice. I don't know if you need it necessarily. In challenges, complete all available auto wins with 1 button. Oh, so probably on like the challenge window rather than going into it. Hopefully it does it at the highest one that you can do. Otherwise that could cause some problems. New retreat option in raids. Retreat ends a raid match without battle progress. No energy lost and the... What? So you can redo a node infinite amount of times without losing your energy? That is crazy. Especially for all of those harder nodes, you know, the RNG factor, you're going to, I mean, that's a good improvement, but wow, I did not expect that because then they actually, in a lot of ways, they lose revenue from this because there's a lot of times that people refill their energy, they core, they heal, whatever, you know, with bad RNG. And of course, emoji support. I'm really shocked at this one. You know, I'm thinking like, Bio Node 2 for Doom Raid 3, some other ones that are a little bit more Mutant, of course, right, for now. Really shocking. I was not expecting this. MarvelStrikeForce.com and MSF.gg. with the actually, yeah, we knew this part number. Oh, resource inventory. I don't really use the website that much. One of the biggest improvements is the unification of contents of msf.gg and msf.com. Means you'll get all the benefits of both sites into one. Roster sync, alliance recruitment tools. So hopefully this one helps, because this has been a #1 request for a lot of people, and I've been hearing from other people as well about how difficult it is to recruit for captains and leaders of other alliances. And it's a struggle, you know, with people quitting more and more each day, that this is a real struggle. So I hope that this is meaningful and enough that allows for it to work well. But once again, like, I would prefer in-game alliance recruitment tools, not outside of game. I feel like if there was a user interface that was worked properly, that would allow for this, would make it much easier, because I know a lot of people, you know, who are more casual, they really don't want to rely on some of this other stuff in order to do that. This year was great, but next year will be off the chain. Is that, I don't know if that's like code for something coming off the chain, breaker chain, I don't know. Is there a character there, reference? The dev team has been discussing a lot of fun ideas and reviewing player feedback to build a content calendar. Oh, okay, never mind. I was thinking something else. We'll continue to keep you informed of the latest news about MSF every week here. From everyone here at Boundless Studio. You know what? And the great thing about all of this, it's not subject to change. So this has to be guaranteed, right? Because they didn't stick at the bottom, subject to change. So hopefully they can't go back on any of this, because they never said that it was subject to change. So we can be guaranteed for sure that everything listed in this blog post will be coming to the game. Of course, we don't exactly know when, and of course this raid option isn't necessarily slated, as it doesn't say that it's slated for next patch. So there is that as well, but hopefully we get that sometime soon, and not to like 6 months from now when we forget about it. Let me know what you guys think about the blog post. I was a bit disappointed we didn't get the kit for Archangel. We kind of knew a lot of these things already, but there were a few surprises in here. So let me know, what was your biggest surprise from this blog post in the comments down below. And of course, guys, until the Friday's blog post, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you all later. Boilon signing out.